Hey everybody, Matt Monster here, back again with Marvel Heroes. This time we got Squirrel Girl on the board. Um, Unfortunately, the other build that was up was very buggy, and apologize for that. I didn't really do it. I'm not the devs, I'm not the designers, and I'm definitely not a programmer. So blame them. Unfortunately, apparently it still worked for some people that were stuck with it. And that's where I apologize. I wish I came out with it faster and just did it, but I really rushed a lot of characters to get them to 50, and I basically have everybody to 50 now, so I can really do the builds more accurately, especially that all the level 52 reworks are in high order with the devs. I need everybody at 50 to keep it up. So I definitely got a workable, non-bugged Squirrel Girl build for y'all, and I like it. So, and I basically figured out leveling her from 33 to 50. I already have the points spent. I don't have a lot of retcons left, so I'm going to leave the points spent. Now let me tell you the primary abilities. So this is Squirrel Girl here. Let me pull out my handy dandy cheat note here. And obviously, she's all about squirrels. Except I'm going to skip just about completely the squirrel tree. And we're going to stick with more squirrels and let's fight. So I'm going to stay with a melee-based Squirrel Girl. If you're going to go ranged, you're probably going to skip Let's Fight and go with more squirrels, and you can sub in the ranged preferred skills that you want, which would probably be Spirit of the Squirrel and whatever ranged ability you like, or a ranged basic and ranged Spirit Burner of your choice, or a ranged AoE. Seeing how Squirrel Apocalypse is bugged, Death from the Trees does not function well, and Acorn Artillery does a lot of damage now, might work well, didn't really go for it, didn't want to rely on it, wasn't happy that this tree is so bugged out. So what I did do is obviously max out Squirrel Friend. That's your primary go-to. I'm finding myself these days hard to ignore signatures on characters anymore, and even though the signature doesn't look all too compelling, I went for it anyways, and I'm tried it out, and I actually do like it. So even though it doesn't look like it does a lot, it does a lot. So we're going to go with Squirrel Special Forces as well. And then we're also going to go with Squirrel Distraction. This is going to give us a lot of dodge and a lot of passive projectile chance. That's going to be nice. And as opposed to a lot of previous Squirrel Girl builds, I'm actually going with Squirrel Love. The health per squirrel hit does go up as you level, which is nice, and the active effect I'm finding more useful, being in the melee, and I'm using it, so I put points into it, and I actually liked it. In this tree, we're putting 1 point in Squirrel Cunning and 1 point in Sick'em. Why only 1 point in Sick'em this time around? I'm using it just to get 5 squirrels. That's it, and plus the little extra attack speed bonus to the squirrels. It's only 5 seconds of the 8-second cooldown, and I can't extend that 5 seconds to the full cooldown. So I really feel I don't get enough benefit out of putting points into it as I would Squirrel Special Forces, even though this is only a 10-second duration with a 45-second cooldown. It's a long cooldown. I think they really need to revisit what they're doing here. You're getting 20% crit and brutal chance with 20% damage to the pets for 10 seconds. That's huge. It's a lot better than about 15% attack speed for 5 seconds. That's why. And then we're melee. So I'm putting points into Dive Bomb. That's the AoE. We're going to use this to kill trash, and we're going to clean up with Savage Swipe. And we're going to Savage Swipe on bosses, and we're going to Dive Bomb to get the slow on there to take advantage of the base plus 50% damage to slow targets. So it's going to be a little bit of activity going on with Dive Bomb and to keep the Savage Swipe up. You don't have to keep it perfectly timed. This is some added damage from Savage Swipe. It's not 100% necessary damage. It's more important to maintain and control your squirrels. Of course, we're going to put 1 point into counterattack and 1 point into Squirrel Smarts. Squirrel Smarts doesn't really pay off, and hopefully we'll get something that gives us plus bonuses to it. The defense obviously just doesn't pay out, and tenacity isn't even in game really, so what's the point? And that's it. I put 1 point into Spirit of the Squirrel just to get the maximum health bonus and some spirit, and restore spirit on hit. And that's our build. I put Savage Swipe as my left mouse. My right mouse is Forest Walk, so I can move around. And that gives you a little bit of defense rating. Then I have my Dive Bomb to kill trash. That hits for 7 to 10 grand on level 50 here. So it'll probably take 1 to 2 hits, depending on how hard you hit. I have Sick'em here. I have Squirrel Love, and then Squirrel Special Forces. I'm not always using Squirrel Special Forces just to get squirrels out. I'm kind of saving that for when I hit yellows, bosses. I want that around to chew into them. And then I chew into them with Savage Swipe and with the slowed effect on Dive Bomb. So that's my Squirrel Girl build. I call it Squirrel Bomb. And let's go Squirrel Bomb something. Oh, gear is kind of staying the same. Right now I got the Wonder Gore Clay, the Advanced, or that variant Regalia. Actually, I'm level 50 now. I wonder if I can get the Advanced anything. Oh, I can. I'll do Advanced that variant Regalia and get rid of this Yukio's Charm. She's all about the pets. Your damage is kind of smaller in the scale. And you are going to need some Summoned Ally duration. You can swap out once you get to level 51. Where is it? To a higher value summon duration. But I'm finding even at 47% summon duration, these squirrels here that last 20 seconds, not really long enough. I'd like them to be around longer. I think the ideal would actually be to have the Advanced Wonder Gore Clay there as well. Unless you're lucky and you found something like 40-45%, and then you could probably just stick with one with a 30% summon duration Sinister Metal. I don't know if I got a better metal in here. I probably do. 46, 43, 19, 23, 20, 23, 19, 19, 2020. 2023 it is. I'll help out a little bit, a little extra damage. But lately it's really hard to find a higher number of Sinister Metals. And that's really it. Oh, I got the Squirrel Gig. This is nice. It adds a little bit here and there, mostly speed. Some procs. I got very little health regen, which is why I think I'm liking the Squirrel Love a little more. I got health on the costume. I don't even have a core on the costume. Kind of sad, I know. Obviously, a core would be either a lifesteal core if you had it, or health and spirit on use with invulnerability. Perfect. And then here it's just damage rating with physical damage. We're doing physical damage all over the place. So we really want physical damage. And then this is obviously plus the Savage Swipe. The plus to Forest Walk's alright. And I got the Cosmics with the health regen, Cosmic with health regen. They're getting kind of old though, as you can see, really old. I haven't found much better with her. No luck. Except for the Squirrel Gig. But I'll take her over to the Kingpins here. Oh, wrong one. That's the right one. And put her to work. I'll immediately start with Sick 'em just to get some squirrels going. Suppose I should have dive bombed them. The only problem with the Savage Swipe is it seems to stop in movement and not kill. And basically, if you're wondering how I time it, I basically just wait for about 6 Savage Swipes and then I just do another one, even though that's actually going early. Because if you look, it's basically 3 Savage Swipes a second, and this is lasting for 4 seconds. I could do 12 Savage Swipes. But I figure 6 is pretty good. It's taking into effect some new mobs probably showed up. It's getting me some extra AoE. It's taking into effect. I probably change mobs. Never really know what's happening in combat. Like I said, that pet bar has always been bugged. So as you can see, even at 40%, I'm having a hard time keeping that thing full. I'm always using abilities. I'm not always sicking them. I do try to save that for some extra damage as well. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. There's a yellow, so I'll just hit everything. And yes, it's really that effective. He's higher level than me. Well, 19%, almost keepable. Oh, that's a good build. I'll save that for later, I guess. And so it works really well. The AoE isn't as good as the range build, obviously, but we get to tie in and get some boss synergy from it with Savage Swipe, get a lot of extra damage from ourselves, and the squirrels work fantastically well going this route. Now level 51, it'll really come in. I know everyone says you don't need all these Wonder Gore clays, but that summon duration is very important. I don't know if you were watching, but I was hardly ever at maximum 30 squirrels. It just wasn't proccing. It's supposed to be an activation chance of 41% every time I use an ability. I definitely wasn't getting, well, it'd be 3 every 2 seconds. It just wasn't happening. Just from the Savage Swipe. So I highly advise doing the full pet route. And obviously you'd put a trident for a legendary and you get even more in. I don't know if it has duration. I know it has health, and I know it has pet damage, and it procs attack speeds. but you'd you'd still do the trident. You know, you'd go full pet because it's all about the squirrels, and you're just an added bonus to the squirrels, really. And you want to keep yourself alive. And that's really it. So that was Squirrel Girl. That was the Squirrel Bomb. Hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and it's a lot better than all the bugged out skills. So enjoy it and go kill. Talk to you guys later.